Daily Sun is also giving us something of some not so good news. The screaming headline: Gunmen abduct 14 UTME candidates in Benue. Passengers also kidnapped in bus attack. Well, that's not a good one.
That's a very, very,
Uh,
very sad thing.
Niger-
And I think we should look at it. We should talk about it. How can we, abduct UTME candidates? And in Benue State again, what are we talking about? We're talking about children here. Now, if you ask me, and I don't know, people will say that's how women reason. But honestly, I think that JAMB should pay for this because I don't understand why JAMB will ask students to get to the venue for their exams at 6:30 a.m. When you, I don't know about you, but when I did JAMB, I did it on a Saturday. I didn't do JAMB on a weekday. It was on a Saturday. Now, the fact that this is in Benue State and they know what has been happening in Benue State, I think that they should have, planned, some sort of security. They should have done some sort of security, whatever provision for the children. For example, say, okay, JAM is going to start at whatever, maybe 8 o'clock in other states, but in Benue State, in the states that are prone to attacks, perhaps it will start at 10, where everybody can see everybody and can know everybody. Perhaps it will start at 10 o'clock, okay, and finish at whatever time. That would allow, the students and the parents, to go with more confidence. But you say that this thing is going to start at 6:30, and now these children have been abducted. JAM should pay for whatever ransom. If they're going to ask for ransom, JAM should pay.
It's quite unfortunate that it's not just happening this year. Last year, there was a story that I followed up where a prospective JAM candidate in Ekiti State, I think one of the communities in Ijere, Ekiti or thereabouts, had issues, and then she was not even kidnapped, abducted. She entered one chance. Do you understand? And it was so bad that she was molested and there were a lot of issues around it. And I'm always wondering, is it that our laws in this country are made for humans or humans are made for the law? So we feel very rigid. We don't want to look at the exigencies and emergencies and be flexible enough to bend the rules for certain situations, just like you said. You look at the communities and states that are prone to attacks. Because you know what? Some of these students, they sleep at their CBT centers so that they can start early. It is not compulsory we do computer-based tests for JAM.
And honestly, I don't even know what's happening to parenting anymore.
Because, no,
because I don't even think I went to the JAM center on my own.
It's even funny, that you look at these issues. Some of them would even tell you that despite the risk they took, they were still timed out. Some of them cannot log in properly. Some of them, there's no internet in those centers. There are a lot of issues that we need to resolve. Because even going through all these risks still does not guarantee that when you leave university, you will get a job. Does not guarantee that when you get into the university for a 4-year course, you will spend 4 years for that course. It still does not even guarantee that even if you pass this post-UTME, that you would even have admission because somebody somewhere has already taken your quota. So you look at these and you're asking yourself, what exactly does JAM think when they are planning this exam? You know communities that are high risk. Why do they have to write CBT?
And then you start to
Why
wonder,
do they have to even start at 6 o'clock?
Are they,
Why?
Why at that time? Why at an ungodly hour? Why?
Okay, if the city centers are safe, if Makodi is safe, if Otukpo is safe, if Otukpa is safe, if Boko is safe, why don't you move all the prospectus to the city centers where you can provide and assure of their security? Why do you have to allow them go into those villages? Just look at this one right now. As we're on this show right now, I saw a news flash now that the bandits in Kaduna that abducted 37 Christians are demanding for 1 billion naira. That's the news flash I just saw now. So do you know how many that the ones that abducted these prospective students? Do you know how many? What is their crime? You go to secondary school, Chibok would happen to you. You go to secondary school, Kebbi would happen to you. You go to secondary school, Niger would happen to you. You go to church, choir would happen to you. You go to farm, Sokoto will happen to you. Now you are going to write exam just because you want to have
You
quality
live
life
in
for
Nigeria,
yourself.
Nigeria will happen to you.
That's the point.
That is the thing. It can happen to anybody, anywhere in Nigeria. Nigeria, you don't understand the point of where Nigeria is generally unsafe. We need to address insecurity in this nation. We need to be serious about what we're doing. For me, in my opinion, I think that we're still joking because these insurgents are meeting even the Nigerian army force with force and for force. If, in short, right now, I think people are respecting the insurgents and the bandits even more than they respect security agents.
Somebody that is killing security agents, won't you respect him more than the security
That's what
agent?
I'm saying. Of course, because he seems to understand the game better. First of all, he seems to have the more sophisticated weapons. He seems to be in control. He is the one in charge. And that's why we're calling on our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You said to us that you were bringing a renewed hope agenda. That is, even the hope we had at the time, you were telling us that you were bringing it back to life. You are going to infuse something in it. The life that we didn't have in that hope, you were bringing it for us. But today you seem to have failed a lot of people. There are allegations and counter allegations that the things that you promised to give to us, the things you promised to do for us, you have not done. You have not given. And you are seeking a re-election. Yes, we understand that you know the game of politics and you have prepared, the table, with a sumptuous meal. But Okwe just asked a question. I didn't ask it. He says, does a president really know governance? Because that is what we need. We need governance. We don't need politicking or politricking. We need governance in this country. We need to be able to have good electricity supply, power supply. We need to have good roads. We need to have, health facilities in place. We need to have enough doctors who are well paid. We need to have good education. We need to have a scale of preference that we can look to. We're all on the same page. You tell us that this is your agenda. This is your plan for us. And then we start to tick them off the list one after the other together. It's not a thing about you and your class of people on the one side and the masses on the other side. That's not the game. That's not how it's supposed to be played. But we thought you were the master strategist. That's what I thought. I would say it any day. That our president, when it comes to strategy, he understands how to do it. He understands how it works. But sir, you need to prove to us that you're really still in charge. Because if the masses don't get these basic needs, and we're not talking about wants here, we're talking about needs. I mean, they need their bellies to be full.
They need shelter.
They need shelter. They need to wear clothes, good clothes. We see a lot of people walking on the streets. They're not properly dressed because they cannot afford, they haven't eaten, and then we're talking about food. Excuse me, are you joking? So, sir, we're calling, on all our leaders at the federal level, at the state level, at the local government level. We're calling on you to please take a look at the people. Remember, they put you there. Why don't you feel their pulse? Feel their pulse and know what it is that they need. I'm not saying what they want, but I'm saying what they need. It's so important, okay? Getting to work on a daily basis, I keep saying, I don't know what it is. I'm not going to say it's a blessing. Neither will I say it's a curse. But by the time you start to pay a 50,000 bill every morning to put fuel in your car, then you out there who's watching this program, please determine for me what exactly you will call this. It's not easy. And I understand that it's a fallout from the crisis in the Middle East. But if we have a good government, they should be able to subsidize at this point in time, and then we we can go back to what it was when things normalize. But we don't even see an attempt to care for the people. We have to care for ourselves. And you really expect that we will go out to vote for, if my name is not on that ballot paper, I don't know. It's going to be so difficult to vote for anybody because I'm the one, by the grace of God, who has kept me. Why am I voting for anyone, really?
I mean, somebody said some of us that work on election day that we are escaping a problem that since we don't vote. And I'm like,
And
listen,
unfortunately, I'm even always at work
I mean, I'm always
on
at work on
election
election
day.
time. There are times I'm even posted outside of my city that I register. But the truth of the matter is that everything you said is what a leader should know, even before you get into political office. It is why there's a reason they define democracy as a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. That is a very short sentence that had the people three times.
All inclusive.
So there's a need for that. That's why they call it the government of majority. Simple or whatever majority you want to use. It is the people first. Education, the people. Healthcare, the people. Infrastructure, the people. Security, the people. Improvement in the quality of life of who? The people. But when the people we have here are like the 10,000 of the over 230 million of us in this country, then there's a problem.